Hello, I don't understand my hair. Like, this is freshly washed, but it looks like a right mess. Anyway, today we've got these mittens in for earrings. I think they're very, very cute. They're just very sweet. I love them. I don't wear them that often, but now that I'm wearing them, I'm happy. Now, today's video is something I cannot believe I've never spoken about on this channel before. And it's been in my head for a few days and I just keep forgetting to make a video about it, so here we are now. I have often said on this channel, and that's still the case, that I don't celebrate Christmas, never have, never will probably. That's a personal thing. I am so happy for everyone that does celebrate it. I have nothing against it. I love Christmas, I just don't celebrate it. But somehow, in all the times that I've mentioned that, something I've forgotten to say is that in Holland, we have something called Sinterklaas, which happens on the 5th of December, and I celebrated that every single year. Even when I moved to Australia, we tried to celebrate it for a bit and then it didn't really work. But basically, you have Sinterklaas, who looks remarkably similar to Santa. He comes from Spain on a ship, which already is actually a bit weird. Why are you taking a ship? You could just drive. But he comes on the ship with his white horse, and he has, like, the equivalent of elves called Zwarte Piet. You may have heard about them. I think they've been in the news a lot over the last few years. People have very mixed opinions on them. I personally never saw a problem with it, but I am white, and I was a child, so I don't really have much more to say than that because I'm speaking from a very privileged position. But anyway, something I just love about Sinterklaas is you leave out your shoe. And I can't believe I've never thought about this before. But like, actually that's ridiculous. Why are you leaving out a shoe? But I suppose it's a bit like a stocking because you leave out your shoe and then in the morning you wake up and there are presents in your shoe. So as kids we would always leave out like our wellies or something so we could get bigger gifts. You'd do silly things like that. It was so special. And you had, of course, songs that you sung about Sinterklaas and about everything. And people had different customs because it like began late November and it went till the 5th of December. And some people had like a gift every day. Some people did it on the first and the last day. We usually only focused on the last day, but again, different traditions. And one thing that I haven't had in years and that I desperately want, that was a very, very big part of Sinterklaas for us and for a lot of people, is you get a chocolate letter. Basically, let me put my tea down. It is like this big and it's the first letter of your name. So for me, it was always an R, and then my other siblings had other letters. I loved having an R. I always felt like I got more chocolate from an R. It's probably all the same, but that was such a highlight of Sinterklaas for me. Obviously, you like the presents as well, but realistically, none of them stick out as anything I specifically remember. But the chocolate letters was an annual thing, and it was like the most exciting part of Sinterklaas. And you'd go into shops and you'd be looking for your letter, and then like they got more creative with it because originally it was always just milk chocolate. But then you could start to buy like white chocolate or dark chocolate or even different ones, I'm sure, nowadays. And it was just the best. I loved Sinterklaas. And they had this TV show on as well. And I think it was the same one every year, and yet I can never remember finishing to watch it. But I loved the TV show. I can't remember anything about it now, but I loved it. When it started, I was like, we are watching this. And that was like a family thing. We all watched it. We all loved it. So yeah, I'm surprisingly passionate about Sinterklaas. I think it's also because I haven't thought about it or spoken about it in years that I'm suddenly like, oh, I've remembered this thing. And I do think it still goes in Holland. I think it's still a thing. And I think for a lot of people who do celebrate Christmas, they do both. They do Sinterklaas and Christmas. So even though I don't celebrate Christmas at all, I celebrated Sinterklaas and I loved Sinterklaas. And I think if there was a way to bring it back into my life, I would love to. I just don't know if it's gonna happen. Let me know if you've heard about Sinterklaas or if this is brand new information to you, or if you have like an equivalent version in your country, because I know that lots of people have different customs. Oh, and also we never did Secret Santa, but we did something that was basically the same thing, but for Sinterklaas. It was just great. I loved it. And you could go see Sinterklaas and Zwarte Piet and everyone. Oh, now I'm finished talking, I promise. I'm sorry to future Raquel who has to edit this video, but let me know your experience with what I've just spoken about or your own experience with similar things, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!